just give you one other quick anecdote. I was in an OPA meeting, probably circa 2006, 2007. And this is when ad networks were really taking over, and the whole thing, well, we're going to, it's an unsold seat in your airplane. We're going to fill it. We're going to fill it at,
right.
At a best rate we can get, which was like 20 cents. And I remember having conversations with Gordon McLeod. He was then at the Journal, and I think it was Yoli was at the Post and Martin at the Times. And I said, okay, what percentage of your overall impressions are taken up by ad networks? Because they were all using ad networks. We weren't at Forbes. And then I said, okay, compare that to what percent of your revenue is coming from those ad networks. And it was ridiculous. They were like taking up 40% of the impressions and have less than 1% of the revenue.
Right.
And so, I had these conversations, and we had this meeting at the OPA. It was a little bit about that. And I got up and I said, look, anybody in this room who is using ad networks are a traitor to your creed, because you're just allowing this perception to exist that advertisers can buy your inventory on an ad network for 10, 20 cents, 1,000, when you would never in a million years sell it to them at that rate on a direct buy. But
regardless of $4 or 40 cents, you can't afford to pay a writer. You can't afford to pay an editor, a fact checker, art department, lights, computers. It doesn't make any mathematical sense. That is essentially, people ask me all the time, what happened to Travel Savvy? Why didn't you? And I said, without the network supporting it, it was a complete impossibility. I didn't understand when I would see people surviving. I'd be like, I don't know how they're doing it. As I figured I had as good a group of sales guys and saleswomen as I could get. I had some great content. We were shooting video. We couldn't make it work. We were shooting the cheapest video you could possibly have. I had half of Syracuse as interns. I had the other half from Penn State. I had great designers and I just couldn't make it work. I could not make the mathematics work. And it frightens me to think where we're sitting right now in this publisher trial. If they uproot the ad server right out of it, if Dart ultimately comes out of it, what happens to Dart?